Hey there, Matt, Laird Market Mindset Podcast. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for taking some time out of your schedule. Hope you find some things here beneficial like I do. Again, I have the incredible opportunity to intersect with and discuss all things real estate and selling with a number of people. Today's no different. Eric Mitchell, he's out of San Diego, California. I had to write some notes down here. He's Chief Revenue Officer for Client Direct Mortgage. He's an entrepreneur, marketer, strategist, author of The Why of Money. Fascinating book. If you're in sales, I highly suggest that you take a look at it, read it. It's available through his website, eric-mitchell.com. We discuss a number of things today. And one thing that he is really, really solid at, good at, that I learned from, is identifying the why, the needs of a client before we go in and pitch our services. And we discussed, it doesn't matter whether you're an immigration attorney, a mortgage broker, loan officer, real estate agent, real estate broker owner. Doesn't matter. We all need leads. We all need more data, solid leads. We all need more closings. And what we discussed today is before we go in there and tell these individuals all about us, we need to find what their why is, where their pain points are, and do a deep dive and then be able to find them a solution. So today, please watch and enjoy as I did. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did speaking with him. Eric Mitchell out of San Diego, California. Thank you. Super excited again. One of the benefits of having a podcast is I get to talk to amazing people from all over the United States and north of the border. And today's no different. Today we have Eric Mitchell. He's the author of the newly released book, The Why of Money, sort of an introspective look at how to get out of your own way and finally earn what you deserve. Eric's also the Chief Revenue Officer for Client Direct Mortgage and oversees business development strategies for their 200 plus employees. I mean, his CV is curriculum vitae. I mean, just it goes on and on. He develops innovative purchase market strategies, proven to revolutionize the way mortgage brokers and realtors do business. What's fascinating to me is an expert in NLP, neuro-linguistic program, neuroassociative conditioning. I'm not going to go on too much more because I want to get to the meat of this. Eric, thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate you carving out some time, taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. Let's get going. Talk to me. We had a little bit beforehand. I said, no, we got to stop. I want this to be part of the podcast. So go ahead.
Well, for your listeners, what I would care about if I'm watching this is I'm spending my time watching a podcast. What's in it for me? Like what do I get out of watching this podcast? Like there has to be some sort of benefit. And I try and approach that in every conversation that I have, right? So if I'm talking to you, if I'm talking to a realtor, if I'm talking to a loan officer, if I'm talking to a consumer, right? What's in it for them? And what I find is that most people start a conversation about here's what I can do for you, right? I'm this and I'm this and I do this and I do that, and you missed it. You missed the whole point of what I'm trying to communicate. If you're a loan officer talking to a realtor, oh, I give great service and I got great rates and I got down payment assistance and I do and I've been doing this 20 years and I always close your deals on time and blah blah blah. And nobody cares. Like what you have to understand is that no one cares.
Right. I
So
love that.
stop doing that in any capacity.
Yeah.
So instead, here's what I can do for you, and here's what it means to you, and here's how it helped you build your business, and here's how you make money from it.
Yeah. I think it goes back to one of the Stephen Covey's principles, the 7 habits of highly effective people. Seek first to understand, then be understood. So
I agree with that. I'm going to take it one step further and say,
okay.
before you take the meeting, you need to already understand.
Okay.
You need to walk into the meeting already knowing where the pain is. If you're walking into a meeting and saying, "Hey, where's your pain?" Right? You're doing now is taking my time.
Okay.
You're not creating any value for me.
Wow.
You're taking my time now. Why should I explain my pain to you when I don't even know if you have a solution for it?
Okay.
Why would I do that?
Fair enough. I like it.
And so if you're a realtor, I already know what the pain is. If you're an immigration attorney, I already know what the pain is. If you're a bankruptcy attorney, I already know what the pain is. It doesn't matter. Whatever you do for a living, I already know the pain.
Right.
And so I'm walking in saying, here's what I perceive to be your pain. Am I correct? Yes. Great. Here's a potential solution. Would this be valuable for you? Oh my God, I've never heard of that. How's that work? There we go. Right now, I'm not taking their time. I'm walking in. I know your pain, and I'm walking in with solutions.
Love it, love it. So getting back to our audience here, how is it a blanket assumption when you're talking, let's say just a residential agent or a mortgage professional? Um, is that pain the same across all sectors, all industries, or how do you go
No,
out and do more in-depth research? Say you're
that,
working with a real estate agent or a client, or a real estate agent
mhm.
is going to a listing appointment. How do they find that out in advance?
So you have to ask tens of thousands of questions, which I have,
Okay.
right? And then you have to recognize patterns, which I have. And so if you read one of my favorite books is by Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers.
Okay.
And it's all about understanding that to be a Michael Jordan, to be a Wayne Gretzky, to be an outlier, right? It costs you 10,000 hours.
100%.
That's it, 10,000 hours.
Right.
And so if you don't put in the 10,000 hours, then don't call yourself an outlier. Don't call yourself an expert because you haven't put in the time. And so I put in, a lot more than 10,000 hours.
Right.
And so from that standpoint, it, each demographic has commonalities, right? There are certain things that are common, right? So, like, I don't know of a salesperson that doesn't have a pain point of, I need more leads. That would be a common pain point.
Okay.
I need more leads. Okay. But what kind of leads? What do you specialize in? Like, if you're a realtor, do you focus on buyers or sellers, right? Well, I can look up the data. I can see their transactions. I know if they're focused on buyers or sellers, right? I'm
Okay.
walking in, I have that information. It's public knowledge, right? I don't You need to access data. I'm also a data freak, right? I love data. I'll read data like all day long because you have to be able to interpret it with me. And so if you're a realtor, right, are you doing one deal a quarter, one deal a month, one deal a week, one deal a day, right? Each of those volume levels has different pain points, right? If you're doing one deal a quarter, right, then your pain point is you need better leads, right? You need to have a better strategy. And so I'm going to help you with a better strategy to be more valuable in the marketplace. If you're doing a deal a week, right, then you need better systems. You need better access to information. You need better automation, right? Like it's a different pain point.
Right.
And so same with any salesperson. But what I try and figure out is, right, okay, so here's your pain. Now, how do I create a solution for that pain that nobody else has? And so I have a weird advantage in the marketplace. My brain somehow I have a it's not photographic, but it's pretty close to photographic memory for matrices, guidelines, Excel spreadsheets, things like that. I seem to be able to take pictures in my brain and then I can recall them
Okay.
based on other situations. And so, a common thing that I do in the mortgage and the lending world is I read mortgage guidelines, like actual lender guidelines. I actually read, hey, here's my guidelines. It's 97 pages. Okay, so I read the 97 pages, right? Take pictures, and I recognize anomalies in the guidelines. And so then I was like, well, either they missed a section, right? Or they don't care about that. And so, like example is one of our investors sent me the guidelines, and there was no condo section, right? There was no section about condominiums. And so I called them up. I said, like, whoever wrote your guidelines needs to be fired. Like, there's no section on condos. Like, oh, we treat condos like single family residents. So yeah, there's no condo section. I was like, no, you can't because you need the condo questionnaire, you need the condo insurance for the building. You have to determine whether the building's warrantable or not. It's like, no, we don't. It's a portfolio loan. We don't care. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Right. So I validated it, created marketing images around it. Now we go into condo developers, condo buildings, non-warrantable, open litigation, don't care because we don't need the condo docs. Right.
Fascinating.
And so Florida condo buildings right now are in massive pain. Right. They love us. They're like, oh my God, where have you been?
Yes.
Right. And so understanding how to be unique and valuable and then go to that target demographic with that unique value proposition instead of I got great rates and I got great programs and I got great, I got great service. And the metaphor I compare that to is Imagine opening up a new grocery store, right? And hey, Matt, I just opened a brand new state-of-the-art grocery store down the street from you. You should come check out our grocery store. We sell milk. No, no, dude, I got 2%, I got 1%, I got skim, I got cottage cheese. We never run out. It's amazing. You should come to our grocery store. It sounds silly, right?
Well, yeah, but no. I mean, yeah. I mean,
That's the minimum bare expectation. I expect you to have milk. I'm coming to your grocery store. I expect you to have, if you don't have milk, I'm never coming back to your grocery store, right?
okay,
So if you're in sales, I expect you to have good service. I expect you to have competitive pricing. I expect you to have lots of selection. I expect that. That's not a reason I'm coming to do business with you, right? And so the moment you start talking about I sell milk, I have good service, you're already out of the game. You lost the meeting right there. Boom. Can't recover. Stop it. Stop it. And so how are you uniquely valuable in the marketplace? And that unique value proposition, that's what will determine your paycheck.
okay,
Like we all get one vote, right? When there's an election, we all are equal, we get one vote. But in the marketplace, we are not equal. Your paycheck is the reflection of your value in the marketplace. If you don't like your paycheck, then learn how to become more valuable.
yeah. Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I think it's Elon Musk, and I'll paraphrase here. It says our compensation, our paychecks are directly proportional to the difficult of the problems we solve.
There
And
you
I
go.
stick with that. I'm a big fan of the Malcolm Gladwell, the 10,000 hours. You can get those hours a number of ways, but a lot of time you have to be in the trenches. So
Yep.
I think you and I are on the same page on both of these aspects. So how are you teaching that? I mean, you're chief revenue officer of a major lending organization with over 200 employees. How are you communicating that to these quote your clients? Because what you're telling me and what you're practicing also has to fit the niche or needs of 200 different mortgage professionals out there. Do you tailor it to each mortgage guy or professional, I should say? Or do you do a deep dive into each individual agent, or are there broad strokes that you can cover?
So for loan officers, right? I every time I come across an anomaly, right, I create an image with bullet points. I got a kid who's really good with graphic design, right? And I send him all the bullet points. Here's the bullet points, make it pretty, right? And
Yeah.
then he makes it pretty. I go, thank you. And then so I post all of so I keep it organized on my Threads account. Threads is the Facebook's version
Yes.
of Twitter. And so I post a category, like if I'll say, here's no down payment or low down payment options. Please see, and then 10 sets of crazy guidelines that are like, wait, what? Right. And then I'll do another post that'll be here's condo guidelines, and then all the condo crazy, right? Here's for builders and developers, and then here's all the builder developer crazy, right? And so I do it by category, and then here's all the guidelines so that loan officers don't need to go through, thousands of pages of guidelines. Here's all the cheat sheets.
Right.
But it's also public facing so that realtors can see it, consumers can see it, right? Because I want to try and be as transparent as possible, right? Here's what's possible. Here's what we can do. And here's the guidelines. Here's the minimum credit score. Here's the maximum loan to value. Here's the maximum loan amount. Here's the, right? So that you can, do I fit this generally? Do I have a shot?
Okay.
And then you can engage. Because I find that most consumers don't want to give up their anonymity until they realize that there's actually a chance of being helped,
Okay.
right? That's why Zillow became so big, right? Because you can go to Zillow.com, you can do search, you get all this information, and you don't have to tell Zillow who you are,
Yeah. Oh, I
right?
use
You
it
can
all the
be
time.
anonymous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and so that's it. So consumers are looking for access to information. They want to remain anonymous until they're ready, right? So the more information you can pump out, the more transparent, the more access you can give them, the more they'll engage anonymously, and then they'll raise their hand, right? Like I post my rates 24/7. Do you want to know what the rate is? The closing cut? There you go. Website. You don't need to give me your information. There's rates. Knock yourself up. Do you?
Right.
And so being transparent with that information is really what consumers are looking for.
Yeah. I love that. I was took the words out of my mouth. Transparency. and with the internet, with the all the access we have to data points out there, I read a
Right.
statistic. I think 80% plus, or 85%. You would know the data better than I would. That most individuals that are about to purchase a home or sell a home and buy a home in another area, they've already figured out the demographics, the area,
Yeah.
the type of
Yeah.
home, everything. And so that transparency, it's great. I love it for the company. But they have, like you said, until they raise their hand, they're out there consuming data and making
Yeah.
decisions. And I love that you have that available for them. Again, transparency is so important. I'm gonna circle back a little bit and sort of maybe go to the granular level. I mean, you have an organization with over 200 employees that share this information with. How granular, how far down do you deep dive into the motivations of the individual mortgage or loan officer to reach their pain points, to find out where their challenges are, so that you can help them individually? I mean, that's got to be difficult, or do you even do that with 200 plus employees?
No, we do. But again, so the math makes that analysis more predictable, right?
Okay.
And so again, I come back to the amount of production you're doing tells me where your pain is.
Okay.
Okay. And so if you're doing 5 loans a month or less, right, you need leads, right? You just need more leads, better leads. You need better referrals, better strategies, right? If you're doing 6 to 10 loans a month, then you need better marketing, right? You need maybe better systems, maybe a better CRM, maybe a better methodology,
Okay.
right? But you've already figured out how to drive leads. If you're doing 6 to 10 mortgages a month, you know how to drive referrals,
Right.
right? So I'm not valuable if I call you for that, right? If you're closing 11 to 15, right now, your pain point is team building. You have a pain point of team building because I'm trying to scale. Give
Right.
me better ways to scale. I already know leads. I already know marketing. I'm closing 11, 15 loans a month. I got that. How do I bring more people in and scale myself? Because I'm working too many hours. Right.
Right.
Okay. Got it. And here's how you scale. And
Yeah.
so at each point, right, there's different pain.
And that data is available to you as chief revenue
Correct.
officer.
It's public information. Yeah, I can
You
run
have,
data into.
how many deals each one of your loan officers is doing, and
I know
therefore,
what kind of deals they're doing. I know average loan amounts. I know where they are. I know how many repeat realtors they're getting. I know everything. It's all data. It's all public information. I can grab it. No problem.
yeah. So, okay. So now you've said that, and that makes so much sense to me, because I can apply it. I work with broker owners, team leaders who want to help. I help them recruit and retain. I know.
Okay, so real estate broker. You're talking about real estate broker owners?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about real estate. So they have two primary. All broker owners have two primary pain points that override all the other pain points. Add up all the other together combined doesn't even come close to these two. And so the first one is I need to recruit and retain.
Right.
But just like you said, I need to recruit and retain. Give me strategies that are effective to recruit and retain. The second one is margin compression. And so, as a broker owner 20 years ago, I had a JV with a mortgage company, I had a JV with an escrow company, I had a JV with an insurance company, I had all these side revenue deals coming in, right? On top of my realtors were on 70-30 splits, right? And I was getting 30, realtors are getting 70, right? Now, no 70-30 splits. There's no JV this and JV that. Like all that's gone,
Yeah.
right? And when you put a realtor on a 99-1 split, they're angry at you about the one. Like it's brutal. And so how do you help that broker owner with those two pain points? Right. Well, let's put on free recruiting strategies with unique value propositions that will drive massive engagement, free, no cost to you, and we're going to create multiple revenue verticals as a part of that. We're going to increase your commission scale. So if you're at a 95.5, we're going to show you how to get to 80-20, and your realtors are going to thank you for it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Right. So right away, it's like, well, wait a second, how's that work? Thank you for asking. Here's how it works.
Now the door's open. The
Right.
door's
And
open
but if
for
I
you.
walk in saying I got great service and I'll be a good loan officer and I'll take care, oh my God.
Right.
No,
Right.
no, no,
Um,
man.
your loan officers. I mean, again, I'm in the world of residential real estate, and there's this the pain point that I think has been sort of self-imposed by a lot of these real estate professionals is this whole DOJ, NAR disclose, buy side fee ahead of time, and the veteran agents that I've talked to and work with are like, no big deal. I just put this for them, and here we go, and we're off and running. But a lot of these, newer, younger agents are using it as a rallying cry as to why they need to leave the business, and I need to discount my fees, and I need to lead with price rather than value proposition. And so that's a real challenge. Are you seeing that? I mean, I know you've got 200 loan officers. Are your loan officers addressing that as a pain point for the agents that they're servicing? Is that a pain
Sure,
point? Is that a real pain point for agents?
for sure, it's a real pain point. Anybody says it's not a real pain point for agents, it's not in the trenches right now. It's
Okay.
it's almost the number one thing they want to talk about. But I would also say you also have to take a little bit of a grain of salt there and say, I think the latest stat that came out for 2024 was it was like 96% of uh, licensed agents haven't closed a deal this year.
Right. Right.
Okay, so do we want to listen to them?
Very good.
Probably not.
Right. Right. Right.
Like that's just background noise. To me, that's background noise.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, thank you for your feedback, but I'm not gonna pay attention to it. Like I'm not gonna make business decisions based on that.
Yeah.
I want to focus on the 4% that are doing deals. Now, what's their pain? Let me solve that pain, and then I can run a business.
Yeah.
I can't run a business on 96% of realtors who haven't closed a deal this year. Right?
Yeah.
I can't help you. There's nothing I can do to help you because you don't want to help yourself.
Right.
Right? That's a recipe for having a really bad business plan.
Right.
And so the realtors that are doing deals understand that it's about being valuable in the marketplace. Okay, I need as a buyer, right? I need to sign my buyer agreement. Now, here's why you want me as your buyer agent, right? And now what comes out? And if it's I give great service and I'm always available, I'll discount my fees and blah 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 blah. Well, then that's why you suck.
Right.
That's why you're struggling,
Yeah.
right? Because you're not valuable. There's
Right.
nothing you just said, right? Or how about, well, there's lots of reasons you want me as your buyer's agent. One of the reasons is I'm going to save you $10,000 to $50,000 when you buy your house. And here's how I'm going to save you $10,000 to $50,000 when you buy your house.
I love it.
And I have scripts and strategies, and here's how that works. But now you're engaging, right? Like I teach realtors to go to immigration attorneys. We do lending up to 99% financing for anybody with a visa,
Okay.
any visa. Doesn't
Wow.
matter. You got asylum, you got an H-1B1, you got a student visa, you got a visa. We'll do 99% financing to buy a house. Okay, you know who has databases of immigrants with visas? Immigration attorneys.
Oh, brilliant.
So Google immigration attorney near me. There's probably 30 or 40 of them. You didn't know that because you're not an immigrant, but there's probably 30 or 40 near you. Walk in their office, go network with them. Hey, I've got a bank that does 99% financing for your visa. Here's a script. Here's what you say. Here's an email that they can send out to their database. Here's what it should say. But I have all that. And so now as a realtor, right, you're driving 50 to 100 new leads a week because you're valuable.
Right.
And
You're
so and so what people don't understand is that these strategies exist. You're just not looking for them.
right. I'm guilty of that sometimes too. I get caught in that rut. I mean, I remember I don't know, it was a Wendy's commercial. Same thing, same thing, same day, same day. And sometimes, that's so cliche, to think outside the box. But I mean, you're putting that into action in using the immigration attorney. What you make that person look like just that you're helping that immigration attorney because you're they're going to bring more value to their potential clients. Hey, once we get you situated and I'm going to help you through immigration, I'm going to help you with the dream of home ownership, and this is an additional resource I have as an immigration
Yes.
attorney.
Yes. However, yes, what I try and help people understand is because the human brain tends to paint two concepts into one concept, but they're not. They're two separate concepts. But the brain wants to simplify, and so the brain does an automatic this, and I say no, no, separate. Keep them separate. And so here's what I mean by that. So if you walk into an immigration attorney saying, I can help you because we provide 99% financing to a visa, right?
Right.
Right? The brain goes, yeah, because you're helping them with their clients. No, no, you're helping you. You're helping you. You're not helping them.
Okay.
You could make a good argument that the immigration attorney should care about their past client database. They should, but they don't. What they care about is new leads. They care about
Okay.
the same thing you care about. How do I use this to go into the marketplace and get new leads? That's what you walk in. I'm here to show you how to get new clients, new business. As an immigration attorney, you got the same problem I got, right? You need a differentiator in the marketplace because you're on the marketplace saying, I'm a great immigration attorney and I went to this law school and I can help you become a citizen. Yeah, but there's 30 immigration attorneys in town. How are you different? Right? So here's a differentiator. Not only can I help you become a US citizen, I can help you get a piece of the American dream faster. I have a real estate team that could do 99% financing for any visa. Call me and I'll introduce you.
Wow.
Lead generation.
You
Now,
know,
okay, now we're cooking with steam. I can use this for lead generation. Now I got you. By the way, I know you don't do that as the attorney. Just point me at the paralegal who takes care of your social media. I'll walk over, I'll take care of it. By the way, and you hand them the email on a piece of paper, you hand it to them. By the way, can you read this email? Do you mind if she sends this email out to your existing database in the meantime?
oh wow. I mean,
Right. And then they read it, they go, don't ask them to write an email. They're not gonna. Hand them the email. Is this email okay? Yeah, that email is great. Great. Can you let your paralegal know to send out the, yeah, hey, Sally, he's going to hand you an email, send it out to the database. Great. And I'll take care of your social media. Go do legal stuff. Love you, man. Have a great day. And get out.
right. At the end of the day, I guess it still comes down to leads and business, and that's what pays their bills, and that's the biggest
That's
challenge
correct.
for all of us. We always need new clients. I don't care if you have established book of business, say in the finance world. You always, you're going to have a certain amount of attrition in your database. So
I need
everyone
more
needs new
business. I need
leads.
new business. I need new
Everyone
strategies. I need to be innovative. Help me do that, and I'll love you.
I love that. I'm gonna apply that in my business as well. Again, we started a little bit late. I want to apologize for that. We had some technical glitches. We're gonna make a slight pivot here. I'm gonna into something we were discussing before we started recording. If you don't mind sharing with me, it was fascinating. Your history, your knowledge, your background in neurolinguistic program, neuroscience, neuroassociative conditioning. We've got about 6 minutes left. Um, Talk to me about how that changed your life.
Yeah, so I went to a Tony Robbins workshop probably 30 years ago, like right when he became, wrote Unlimited Power, like it was like right at the beginning. And I went to a Tony Robbins 3-day weekend, changed my life. And I sat back and I said, okay, that was life changing, like literally changed my life, put my life on a completely different trajectory. I said, do I want to learn what Tony Robbins teaches, or do I want to figure out what he learned? Because he didn't just invent like that, whatever that was, right? That came from somewhere.
Yes.
And so I learned that how he became Tony Robbins. He went to a Richard Bandler neurolinguistic programming 2-week workshop, came out, wrote the book Unlimited Power based on Richard Bandler's teachings. Had to write a big check to Richard Bandler for copyright infringement. But why don't I just go to Richard Bandler?
Right.
Right? Why don't I just go learn neurolinguistic programming? And so that's what I did. I began my journey and so I'm now a certified master practitioner. I spent a tremendous amount of time, energy, learning the strategies of NLP. And it's not that NLP is the only thing to learn. It's not. Think of it like a really good tool belt, right? I've got a really good tool belt with lots of tools on it, and I use different tools for different things, and that's really what NLP is. But it helped me understand myself a lot better, which allows me to understand the world a lot better. Which then in turn allowed me to notice something in the universe that I don't think anybody else had ever noticed. My book publisher also agreed with me; they'd never heard of it. But I noticed an anomaly with salespeople that were making over $1 million a year when I would ask them questions. Because in sales, what I try and do is I go to people that are making a lot more money than me and I ask them what they're doing.
Okay.
Right? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, especially if you have an extra zero on your tax return.
I
There's an extra zero there.
want to talk to you.
What are you doing? That I'm not
Right.
doing. right? And so I seek out the best, the best, the best, the best. And when I would have conversations with them, and I would ask them, like, why are you so driven? Where does this come from? Um, the answers that would come back were very different than the answers that would come back from people earning less than $1 million a year, right? Like if you're earning $200,000 a year, and I say, why are you earning $200,000 a year? Like, why is that important to you? It's like, well, it's about security and making money and achieving and right, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, okay. And then you talk to somebody who's making $3 million a year in sales. And no, those aren't the answers that come back. That's
Yeah.
not, nope, 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 nope. Different answers. And so when I looked at all the answers coming back for the people over $1 million versus under $1 million, what I realized is that people under $1 million are focused on money. People over $1 million are not focused on money. They're focused on one of five things. There's only five. They all fell into five buckets. And so I wrote a treatment, right, a 2-page treatment about a book saying, here's the five things that they focus on. And it's one out of the five. It could be more than one, but it's at least one out of the five. And so book publishers said, like, is this real? Have you test this? Yeah, test it. And so we went out. I took the publisher, we went out, I showed, and then I did some exercises to prove the point, some neuro-linguistic programming exercises to
Okay.
prove the point, like, this is real. Like, yeah, it's real. And so got my book published. So chapter one in the book, The Why of Money, is here's the five reasons, right?
Got
Pick one of the five. Now, if all five of these reasons don't resonate with you, like none of it, like you read chapter one, you're like, that doesn't resonate with me, get out of sales.
Okay.
Just leave sales. Go do something. Your greatness is that go invent a widget, go be a tech company, go do something, but don't sell for a living.
Right.
Right? Your greatness is destined in other categories, not selling. Get out of
Okay.
sales.
That's fascinating.
And then stop reading the book.
Yeah. Right
Stop
there.
after chapter one.
Very good. Um, so we're wrapping this up real quick. Explain neuroscience, in 30 seconds or less, the elevator pitch for neuroscience so that those who aren't familiar with neuroscience, if you can, again, we got about a minute 30 left.
I'd say the better explanation of it is if you can follow my best friend, meetrene.com, meet, MEETRENE.com.
Okay.
He's he'll explain things a lot better than I ever can. But he's the guy you want to follow on social media and pay attention to.
Perfect. That's Meet
Um,
Rene, MEETRENE.com.
that's correct. Yep. And just
Great.
follow him on social media. Get to him on Instagram and TikTok
I
and watch
definitely
his
will.
videos. He's much better explainer of that. I'm
Good.
more the geek. I'm the geek. I'm
Okay.
more the guy behind the scenes.
Right.
Like I get on stage,
Yeah.
but I don't aspire to be on stage.
Gotcha.
Like I like being the guy in the background,
Gotcha. Same here.
making guidelines and matrices and
I
systems
love
and
it.
right. Like I like being the manager of the guy on stage.
Yeah.
And Renee is the guy on stage. Like Renee, you put Renee in a room and the room stops.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, dead stop the moment he
Okay,
walks in
gonna
the room.
stop you right here because we're running up
Yeah.
against it. The Why of Money, Eric-Mitchell.com. Where can we get your book?
Yeah, there's links on my site. Go to eric-mitchell.com. There's links. There's a video about the book. There's the book access. Everything's on my website, eric-mitchell.com.
Perfect. We will reconnect in a couple months. This is a conversation I can have for 6 hours with you. I appreciate you carving out some time. I'll reach out to you behind the scenes and get you some information about what we did today. Thank you so much, Eric.
Thanks, Matt.
Really, really appreciate it. I know the listeners and viewers will appreciate it as well. Thanks again.